The Minister of Immigration said it himself.
We are targeting a decrease in our temporary residence population to 5% over the next 3 years.
The immigration policy is tightening again. This video is meant for PGWP holders, current international students, foreign workers, and Ukrainians in Canada. My goal is to break down the announcement for you so that you can be informed and take the proper action. Make sure you're subscribed, like this video, and let's begin. First, let me speak about the LMIA. I want you to hear the Minister of Jobs, and then let's break it down together.
The time for which an LMIA is valid, that's the Labor Market Impact Assessment, will be reduced to 6 months from the current 12 months.
Well, somewhat bad news is the closed work permit duration will be limited, but at the same time, this rule has some exemptions, like the construction and healthcare sectors, and more. LMIA basically shows that no Canadian PR or citizen can do the job. Something new is the minister wants employers to also consider asylum seekers and underrepresented groups like Ukrainians.
Now, the exception to what I just said is for the construction and healthcare sectors. As Minister Miller outlined, these are areas that have critical labor shortages, and with the ambition that our government has for building 2.5 million homes over the next 10 years, we need to have every single worker we can in the construction sector, and to make sure that our healthcare sector has the workers it needs. That exemption will be in place for occupations in the healthcare sector.
Let's speak about Ukrainians. Many of you who are currently moving to Canada or are in Canada now may fear what's going to happen when my status expires, especially given the horrific destruction back home. Good news, Minister Miller is on your side. The Minister of Immigration used very direct language when addressing this issue.
No one would ask them to return during these conditions, and certainly shit could hit the fan in Ukraine in the next months as well if Russia were to continue its war of aggression in the way that it has, which would necessitate further international outreaches and support.
If I were you, I would be actively pursuing various ways of staying here permanently, even HNC, and we recently released a detailed video on what this program is and who may qualify. Please watch it next. We'll make sure it's linked somewhere up here and also in the description to this video. Moving on to an important remark that the Minister of Jobs made that I feel a lot of reports missed.
As of May 1st, we are asking employers that after they consider and offer the job to Canadian citizens, permanent residents, and refugees, that they also now prioritize recruiting asylum seekers and underrepresented groups who have a valid work permit.
This tells you a lot about the course of action this government is taking. The focus will be on internal candidates, all the skilled workers, including PGWP holders and other folks with Canadian work experience. Even though both the student cap and this cut to foreign workers do not affect current international students directly, I encourage you to calculate your CRS score and play around to see what factors can increase it, like better English, French, or extra work experience. Also, if you haven't done so yet, try our free PR indicator that identifies if your job falls under an express entry category. Here's a quick tutorial. One of the biggest problems that immigrants face is they don't know if their job eventually leads to permanent residency. This is why we built the First in Canada PR indicator. Once I demonstrate how it works, I promise you, you'll be impressed. First step, find your job on the list. Let's say I want to work as an architect. Second step, submit. Now what the system does on the back end is it compares the knock code with express entry priorities to see how likely you are to apply for PR. There you go. So it gives you a high probability of obtaining PR with this specific job. So now you know I can get legal help when I apply for PR, or I can do it myself, but I'm pretty safe. However, what if your job is on the low spectrum or the medium probability of PR? Let's see. So for example, you work as a cook. Let's say you're a cook, do the same process, find the job, hit submit. Now the system is gonna go through over 10,000 job titles to find that, oh, this job has medium probability of PR. First step to solve any problem is to be aware of that problem. This tool is exactly that. It allows you to become aware of whether your job leads to PR or not, and then you can take appropriate steps. For example, you can get legal help from my law firm or somebody else. The last thing you want is to lose everything you've built here in Canada, all the money and time you invested. Check out PR Indicator, go to jobhelper.ai, and please let us know if you like this product and what we can improve to make your new chapter even more successful. It's important to pull through this together so that one day you can say, I made it. I am Canada. We often forget, but even the darkest night comes to an end. Step by step, you can turn your life exactly into what you want it to be. And you know what I just realized? There's an example that I really need to share with you. You need to know this. A former international student reached out to me and told me that, hey, I want to get PR, but my postgrad work permit is about to expire in 4 months. So I decided to switch my strategy around. And it's very genius, I think. What he did was, he already got the CAQ from Quebec. He's going to Montreal to study French for 1 year. So jumping back to his student status. What that's gonna do is pull him way up or put him ahead of other people in terms of express entry. As you know, the French category has extremely low thresholds. The points hover around 300, 330, 350. With Canadian work experience, he's already in his mid 400s. However, that's not enough if you're going through the general express entry score. So with French intermediate, that will put him in the safe space. And in that 1 year, hopefully get him to PR once he passes his language test, TEF or TCF in French. I think that's a strategy that many of you might consider, but let me know if you want me to go deeper into ways of extending your status or obtaining PR if your PGWP is expiring. Speaking of this, I encourage you to attend our PR Now webinar, where we'll discuss this case and many more so that you can be ahead and strategize for the future. The link will be in the description to this video. I really hope you got some value from today's video. Please like it and let me know in the comments what you think and the challenges that you face right now. As always, I will see you next Sunday.